Well, hey there. Welcome back to Factorio Space Age. I'm Joe Mama, your host. And as you can see, we're doing a little mining of, just a tiny bit, mining of uranium ore. I did sort of a ridiculous little thing here. Okay, so what I ended up doing, if you didn't already know, let's see, if we go to Tech Tree, let's see, down here at the bottom, maybe? Where is it at? Right here. So uranium processing, you have to unlock this in order to get nuclear power to work, in order to start up nuclear power. And in order to unlock this particular thing, you actually have to mine uranium ore. And if you're familiar with the game, you can't just mine it. You can't just walk up and go, yep, let's right click on that. Let's right click on it. Nope, cannot be mined because it requires sulfuric acid. So I did kind of a goofy thing here. Rather than run a train, I could have done that. My sulfuric acid is actually down here. I have some sulfuric acid going, making some lasers and batteries, but it's so close that I didn't want to set up a train just yet. I was like, I just need a couple. I just need to mine one bloody piece to get nuclear power on the way. So I basically, you can see this is an assembly machine whose job is to empty a sulfuric acid barrel. So you have to feed it a sulfuric acid barrel, which is full, and it empties it and it spits out sulfuric acid back into a tank. And I had to do the reverse process down here, right there, where you feed it empty drums and it fills the drums with sulfuric acid. I've never played with that before. Just never really had to, but here it was like, oh, there's a convenient method. And I filled 10 drums up and it's still going, for crying out loud. Where's it at? It's okay. It's wow, how much is in a freaking drum? Is it let me see. Actually I'd probably be able to tell better if I go here, right? No, it doesn't really say. So if you, okay, it spits out sulfuric acid, spits out a barrel, but it doesn't say how much. All right, well, the 20 barrels, it looks like it filled this sucker up to, I don't know, a lot, because it says the storage tank contents are 712, but the pipeline contents are 760. Wow, so there was a lot of freaking stuff in there, and I've gotten a lot of uranium ore out of it. Anyway, long story short, it's too late, Eric. It's not short no more. Okay, well, it's not. But anyway, I used that to mine my single piece of uranium ore, which unlocked nuclear power. So if we look at the tech tree, we got nuclear power next in line to be researched. So that's outstanding. But what we're going to do, I've cleansed this peninsula right here. I've cleansed this right here. Now that I've got the tank and figured out how to use it again, I'm starting to go around, and I've actually created this wall right here. I just haven't stuck lasers there yet. I've got lasers now, but I'm setting up sort of a trickle production in the laser department. I've got two assembly machines, slowly putting them together. I've got like 300 lasers in there ready to use, and I will. I guess I could open this up for more. Let's see, click up and maybe go there to make it 500. How about that? Okay, so I've opened it up for 500 lasers. That's great. And I can arm that wall, and looking at the map, I've got to build a wall here, but I think this is indeed where I'm going to build it, right there. And that'll shut this off. So this is isolated. This will be, I don't need to kill any more biters. This is isolated. This is isolated. So like I said, we'll put lasers on that wall, but I want to build the next one. I want to build a wall here and build a wall here using this Finger Lake as sort of a supplement, which means I got to kill all these biters. So I think what we'll do is we'll start down here and we'll work our way up and do a little bit, and then maybe when nuclear power comes around, maybe start in on that. But we're not going to finish all these because it's going to take time. I will say this though. Thank you, Board Bob, for this information. I didn't realize the tank has a grid. So I threw a couple of shields in there, a couple of batteries, and some solar cells to just sort of, you know, aid in powering these things up. Let's see, what's the maximum consumption? Let's see, if each of these produces 30, and I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 12, 14, 18, and 8 is 26. 26 times 30 is what? 78? So 780? Is that right? 26 times 30? I think. I'm not quite sure. I think it's 78. So 26 times 30 is 780. I say 78. Gotta understand how my mind works. I'm dropping the 0 and then doing the math in my head. 26 times 3 I think is 78. And add the 0 back, 780. So that's how I do my math in my head. All right, so let's move on. 780, so that is enough. Oh, by the way, yeah, let me take a look at that again. I've got, it powers the batteries, and I've got shields, which I think are 240 a piece. So 2 shields, it should handle it pretty well. All right, of course, when the sun is out, where's the battery at right now? Battery's charged. Okay, excellent. We got solid fuel. So advanced oil processing, we got. So I haven't really exploited it much, but what I'm really doing at this point is using the, I'm using the gasoline? Oh no, I've got light oil as well. Right over here I'm using the light oil. Light oil is the most efficient way to make solid fuel. So that's what I'm doing, but I'm also using the petroleum gas so that it will be a constant load on the petroleum gas to kind of keep it down. Tricky thing, anytime you have production that creates more than one product, you have to be careful because you want to be able to use both products at kind of the same rate, because if either of the products stops being consumed, the other product that you need, whichever product you need more of, is going to stop being produced as well. So you have to find a way to consume both at a fairly equal rate. Satisfactory, by the way, if anybody plays Satisfactory, you'll find that as well. It took me the longest time, I know we're delving a little bit here, but it took me the longest time in Satisfactory to realize that the Awesome Sink, it's a great little thing, but the Awesome Sink's real purpose that's unstated is that, aside from the fact that it's advertised as this thing, is you put stuff in and you get tickets out, and the tickets can be traded for other things. But what it really does from a practical sense is it eats up useless byproducts that you just don't really use much of. It just feed it into the Awesome Sink and you'll get tickets for it as a byproduct. You know what I mean? So anyway, yeah. So because we're using, because we're doing advanced oil processing here, these are going to fill up. And like this is already filling up, and that will stop production of everything else. So somehow we have to find a way to make those things go away so we can produce the stuff we really need. By the way, again, thank you, Bob. I had no idea. So a couple of people have pointed out that, yeah, Bob being one of them. Let's see, let me get out of the map, go to this view, and let me pick a blueprint here. Let's go to B. Game blueprints. Yes. Okay, this we'll put back here, and this right here we'll put here. This right here. Oh, you know what? Let's use this one as an example. So I had mentioned that, you know, I thought this was a new thing, rotating blueprints. I might be thinking of another game. I might be thinking of Dyson Sphere program, where you need to put these blueprints on a spherical surface, and simply rotating them doesn't work because the size of the grids actually change as you get closer to the poles. Okay, so whereas in Novice here is basically a Mercator projection map, which means it's flat. It's a flat map. So it doesn't matter how the blueprint's oriented, all the squares are the same size. But One thing I think is new, I'm like, maybe we've been able to rotate the blueprints. I don't remember. Been playing it since, shoot, 2016, I think. And maybe we've been able to rotate blueprints for as long as we have them. But one thing I think is new is the H and the V keys allow you to mirror image them. I didn't know that. So we can do that. We can do that. We can totally manipulate the hell out of these things, and that is beautiful. Also, so we have that freedom. Do I have an oil refinery? No, but I have a chemical plant. You can, let's see, if I take this and let's pick something that requires multiple inputs. Do we have something like that? Yeah, like oil cracking. Okay, so we've got inputs. We got oil and light oil, or what is it? We can input light oil and water. But see the inputs right there? If we take that and H it, okay, we can flip it. So you can see the feeds are being flipped. That's a beautiful thing. Something to keep in mind. So I'm guessing if we rotate it, does it work with V? Yeah, the V does the same thing if it's in the vertical orientation. So that's freaking awesome. Things I've learned. All right, so thank you guys for that. Like I said, I am in this to learn as much as anything. This is my first look. I'm not doing this as a, hey, I know better than you because I have a YouTube channel. No, it doesn't work that way. I am learning as much as anybody else playing this game. So thank you all for your knowledge. Let's extend this out and let's bring it to this area approximately so we can use it as a way to draw, or use it as something. We're going to use a bank of lasers as an anvil on which we can smash biter hordes. Does that make sense? We will be the hammer. This will be the anvil. And I have my own way of fighting biters. Maybe other people do it the same way, but I've been waiting for the tank. And I've been waiting for fuel that allows it to go fast. And I've been waiting for poison gas capsules. Because I do love them. I'm remembering now what my preferred method was. Just had to do it a few times. Now I realize what it was. Okay, we're going to plow through the enemy hordes of trees. Or hordes of enemy trees. Okay. And we're going to go right through this coal patch. In fact, we may end up using this coal patch as our battlefield. Oh, actually, right here is probably not going to be much of anything. So here's what we're going to do. Let's go ahead, drop a... How much? Can I make a couple more lights? Let's do that. Let's light this battlefield up. Get out here. Drop a few things. And then I've got a couple substations. Let's drop them. I want to get nuclear power going because once we do that, we can really start to open up our mining and smelting operation. Because if you look, we have got electric smelters here, okay? Electric furnaces. That's awesome because it simplifies our design. We no longer have to worry about coal. And in order to put as many smelters as we're going to need nuclear power. All right, let's grab a stack of lasers. And let's go ahead and set these up. Rotate them the right way. You know, I used to think that didn't really matter, but it kind of does because the laser does have a default position. It takes time when it goes to engage a target. It does take time to come up from that position. Okay, probably not going to need that, but we really want. Okay, I've got some repair kits. We're going to do this. I also have. I made about 30 bots. Not quite 30, but I made some bots, and I've got a couple of robo stations here. And you know what? We're going to set it up so that... Alright, let's... I'm going to keep the robo station a little farther back We'll put it about right there. This is going to be total overkill for what we're about to do because the base we're about to engage is not big at all. Okay, but I set the robo station a little farther back, which means it's going to take time to travel, but what I don't want is to expose the bots to danger. Because they will chase my tank down in an effort to repair it, but I don't want them to go to the biter base and attempt to repair it. You know what I'm saying? Because it will put the bots in mortal danger. All right, let's go ahead and put almost all of the repair kits in there. 3/4 of them anyway. I'll keep some with me. Okay, so I've got that set up. These will repair the lasers as needed, which I probably don't. I don't think it's going to. I mean, look at the size of this. Look at the size of this biter base. We'll probably wipe it out in the first run. And it will repair the lasers, and we can bring our tank back here and repair it. It is fueled. It's fully ammoed. It's got a whole bunch of stuff in it. All right. Are we copacetic? Oh, and in case it gets dark, we're going to put a light back there. We're going to put a light back there. All right. I could also, you know, one of the things we can do is turret creep, and as Bob pointed out, we can take like a blueprint and stamp another, like a substation with a group of lasers right here. We could do that, and well, in reality, that might not be the worst idea. The only thing is, I just don't like all these worms. All right, let's do this, and we're gonna get our gas capsule. And let's kill worms. Gas capsules are awesome at killing worms. And we got blue biters now, in case you didn't know. Boom, that's done. And basically, that's all there is to killing a small biter base. Okay. Now, if we bring this up close, you can already see the bots coming to fix us. All right, let's take a look at the map. This is going to be our next one, so we need to reorient the lasers. I'm going to put them over here. Okay, get out. Actually, here's what we can do. Set up a storage chest and get our construction or deconstruction planner and do that. Oops, that is not within range. There we go. Oh, okay. Well, shoot. Is it actually out of range? Okay, let's solve this by doing that. And then doing that. There we go. Because at that point, there's a build range, and then there's a logistic range. And I think... only thing I can think of is that... I asked it to deconstruct, but once it had the items in it, it was following its logistics limits. And if you notice, you see this, see the range there? You've got the yellow or green square, whatever it is. It's kind of hard to tell. Looks a little yellow to me. That's the range of building. So construction, it will go out to that range. But the logistic range is that orange range. And I think once it had an item inside, it suddenly became logistics, I guess? It was in the logistics system, even though they're build bots. I don't know. That's just my theory. I could be completely off my nut. I often am. All right, so we'll take that. We'll take this. And let's get the tank. Let's grab some large utility towers. Okay, right there. Right there. This is a more representative, a somewhat more difficult target. All right. I'm gonna set up. Okay, let's put another tower right there. Set that up there. And now, substations. this limited reach that, you know, the unmodded reach now is just freaking killing me. All right, I'm gonna kill these trees, and one of the best ways to kill trees is poison gas. Right? Okay. Now that we've done that, let's grab the lasers. Double bank. All right. That's our anvil. And, oh, okay. We set this thing up, but we didn't load it. Bots and repair kits. There we go. I'll just let it have all the repair kits. Let's see. Reload our ammunition. Fuel, we're good. Okay. Let's do this. Oh, grab the gas. Okay. Ah. Fucking trees. Okay. Dump a bunch of them right there. Take them out, lasers. Yeah, buddy. Okay. Let it repair me. Okay, let's get closer so the bots don't have to go quite so far. There's always a few stragglers. Alright, oh, there's the stragglers. Those are the reasons you want the repair kits, because while you're trying to repair yourself, they will come in and attack the, especially the spitters, love to come in and attack the lasers from a distance that the lasers can't engage at. What I like to do, oh my gosh, all this freaking slime. Is there a cliff there? Oh, it's a rock. Okay, I need to make sure I know that that's there. Make sure I remember that that's there. Okay. Almost did myself in there. Thankfully, I basically had a full measure of health. I need to remember those rocks are there. That's not the first time I got sort of hung up in that spot. Come on. It's kind of like the artillery. You know how when you attack a biter base with artillery, you eventually have to face the aggroed biters. Okay, so I need to limit my circle to the right-hand side of the base. Yeah, because there's a poof. I like to do a full circuit around the base. That's how I like to do business. I'm not entirely sure if the poison gas does damage to the spawners themselves. I'm not certain of that. Yeah, freaking bots coming after me. Okay, I think I'm repaired. Okay. What I'm trying to do is slowly work my way inward. Oops. There's another biter base up there I'm trying to avoid. So I'm trying to avoid doing a complete circuit because it's going to expose me to that. I'm not ready for that yet. Okay, I think this biter base is about had it. Yep, there we go. Okay, base dead. Alright, let's take a look at the next one. 2 of them. Alright, that warrants moving our anvil, I think. Matter of fact, I think I might run it up. I might run it up this way. Okay, I think I could do that. Okay, yeah, if I could clear that out, and then once we clear these, we'll worry about nuclear power. I think we'll start making arrangements for that. All right. Yeah, like right here. If I put this, you see where the yellow is, and the yellow and the orange. If I put that there, it's out of range. But if I put it there, it's in range. Okay. Even though it's a deconstruction, it still needs to be in the logistics system. So there's an interesting dichotomy I had not thought of before. So I can do that. Okay. Makes cleanup simple, anyway. Alright, so I'll pick that up. Alright, so let's see. If I go down here, go over about 3 or 4 poles. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright. So we'll run the vertical right here. Alright, right about there, I think, should be close. Or can we go one more? But we can go one more. Right. Substations. Okay, if I lay these down fast enough. Might attract their attention. Yep, sure did. Okay, so there's that little detail. So let's go ahead, set this up. And load it. There we go. And okay, how are we doing for ammo? Fuel, we're good. Ammo, we're good. We're good. It'll just keep pulling out of my... It'll keep just pulling out of my, my magazines. My stash. Okay, and then I want to come down this way and hopefully... dump some right there, kill those worms as well. Poof, poof. Okay, there we go. You want to make each pass, if possible, you want to try to kill at least one biter spawner. Also, what you can do is the circuit that you lay your, that you follow, like notice that as I'm driving, I'm sort of laying like a gas donut, okay? And if you just keep driving in that, it won't affect you. You're protected in your tank. But driving through that cloud will have a negative effect on the biters. You know what I mean? So you can get some benefit, just, you know, drive around and make sure you make a habit of leading them through the clouds of garbage, clouds of gas. Oh, crap on a crutch. Watch for rocks. That's the biggest thing. Watch for anything that could ruin your tank. Stop your tank. It'll ruin your day. Okay. We got that one. And we are 30 minutes into the video, so I think, yeah, we'll go ahead and maybe see if we can set up some nuclear power production of some kind. Maybe we work on the train. That might be good. Ah, see, there it is again. Freaking rock. Okay, I think we did it. I think that's it. Let's see if we can destroy that rock now. Bam. Okay. Be careful not to run into your lasers with your tank, because your tank will just plow right through them. I'll tell you what I did do. So I did a thing which was stupid. I had a particularly difficult fight, and my answer to it was to set up this storage chest, or not a storage chest, it was the red passive provider chest. And what I did was I went ahead and put extra lasers, like a half a stack of lasers, and what else was it? I think these big poles. I think I had a couple of those. Is there a radar site near here? Because if there isn't, then I'll just go ahead and place one, which there really kind of isn't. So, you know what? This is going to get a laser. We'll leave the power lines in place, but we'll, you know, pull everything else up, but we'll leave a laser and a power line. But anyway, I set up this red provider chest, and then when I came around with the tank, I was badly damaged, and the bots are out there repairing the lasers, and they had this passive provider so that if any of the lasers got destroyed, they'd be instantly replaced by a bot. Half a stack of lasers. I hit it with the tank, destroyed it, the lasers in it, and all of the and a stack of towers. Like, the biters couldn't have done a better job of taking my resources if they tried. And they tried. Alright, so let's do that. Oh. Will it go into the provider chest? It might go into the provider chest. Or will it? It might not. Nope, it will not. Okay. Storage. There you go. Oh, put the storage in the right place. Boom. There you go. Take that. That takes care of that. Boom. Once we get all the bots, we'll take the roboport. Okay. That's done. Oh, let's throw a light down too. Just... oh, idiot. Let's put a light in place, not remove the power line. Thank you very much. Okay. So let's start... let's go back to the uranium site. What do I have? I think I have a locomotive, I have 2 tank cars. Can I make I want to make a tank car and 2 cargo wagons. Or maybe I could do 2 tank cars, 2 cargo wagons, and then we could just use it for doing multiple pickups, multiple uranium pickups. We could do that. I can't remember how I used to do it. I think it was 2 and 2, now that I think of it. What I do is I set up a train. Oh, wrong one. Yeah, okay, you will definitely want one train doing multiple pickups, but I set up a train that's got 2 wagons carrying sulfuric acid to the site, and then 2 cargo wagons carrying uranium from the site. Does that make sense? Oh, that's a good amount. I don't have any tracks. Did I bring any with me in this? Not enough. All right. Well, you know what? We got things to do anyway. Nuclear power's finished. Beautiful. But I think the first step with nuclear power is to set up our first train. And for that, we got to pick a spot where uranium processing will happen. And might as well happen down here near the water. Because that sounds safe, doesn't it? Yeah, let's process the uranium down by the water where the fish are. You know, government operations and all that. Oh, by the way, speaking of, you know, things, government and army. Yeah, if you've been following Board Bob, you noticed he made a remark about joining the army and the wisdom of that decision, and I have to say, I second that 100%. Best professional decision I've made, and then probably a very, very close second is, need to get some rails. I think I have a train station in here too, right? Yeah, I got a couple of train stations. I just need enough to make a couple of wagons and some rails. But anyway, yeah, it's best decision I've made. I was kind of in a dead-end job. I'd already finished school. I'd finished school like 4 years prior, and I, you know, took, you know, I appreciate the offer at the time. Took a job, and but it paid almost nothing, and I went from like $6 an hour to eventually making $7 an hour 4 years later. And that's going from unskilled to 4 years of experience putting in windshields in people's cars, on which the company was making hundreds of dollars with every windshield. And, you know, they were telling me like, oh, well, you know, you need to make $100 a day for the company in order to justify your existence. And I'm thinking, dude, you pay me less than $50 a day. Don't tell me I need to make $160 something a day to justify my existence. And I went ahead and enlisted, and I was making more money as a basic private than I ever made as a glass technician. And I'll tell you what, the people that you meet, the things that you get to do, I wouldn't trade it for anything. It's just been an awesome experience, and I wish anybody could enjoy that. Okay, you know what? If a train's gonna train, let it train a little bit of distance. So let's go this way a little bit. Yeah, just met great people. Got to see 4 continents. Yeah, 4 continents. You know, got to see the Middle East, got to see Europe, got to see the Far East, along with countless little places in between. Hey, Bob, so I'm wondering if maybe, are you possibly thinking of Honduras? You know, when you mentioned the howler monkeys, because I know that Central America has, you know, howler monkeys. And okay, let's do that. This will help with my construction, I think. Okay. Is that not powered? Really? What the hell? And that's Honduras. We both had the same job in the army, and Honduras is one of those places that you can go with that job. So I don't know, it's just a thought. I knew a couple of people who went there. You know what? I don't really want to screw around, so I'm going to use the blueprints. If I can't, I can't. Okay, where is... I have this one, like, traffic circle idea Well, it's not an idea. It's what I use. It works. I'm not gonna, not use it. Is it among my list of other stuff? Really? Where's my traffic circle? Huh. Well, that's unfortunate. Alright. Well, I guess I'm making a new traffic circle. Shoot. I'm going to save myself a little bit of time. Okay, I like the traffic circle approach. Oh. Now if I can remember how to do this. Okay. Okay, so go around, clean it up. It's different. They've definitely changed the rails a little bit. It's okay. Okay, so that's a curve. Is that a curve? Okay, I'm gotta remember this now. This is new territory for me. No, that's not right. Yeah, they're different now. My old designs wouldn't exactly work. So this is interesting. I could do that. Okay, so if I pull this up. What about there, maybe? Okay. I'm just gonna take this thing up. I don't think I'm gonna use it. Alright. Bring that way. I'd like to get our first train set up, if at all possible. Okay. Okay, so there was a command, right, where you could actually extend the rails out for some distance. I just can't remember what it is. All right. Well, I'll tell you what. I will go ahead and do this sort of off camera. Well, I'll keep recording, but in case something interesting happens. But I'm not going to make you watch this whole process. This will be painful. But you know what, though, I am going to do? We'll do this sort of thing together. I'm going to grab a blueprint of this. No, I don't have a... Can I make a portable roboport? Do I have that ability? What do I need to do that? Huh. You know what? That might not be a terrible idea. Although I don't have armor that could support it. The tank does. Maybe? Okay, let's try it. Okay, so if I do that... Yeah. Okay, I'm not even going to name it. Just create. And... Oh, rotate it? Yes. Love that. I'm going to put this way. There's so much garbage. I just gas all the trees that are blocking me. Gas paradise and put up a parking lot, baby. All right. So much garbage to pull up. Okay, now, can I walk this walk without having to deal... Okay. Okay. Okay, that'll go the right way we want it to go. Right. This is actually very helpful. Okay, yeah, that worked. Even manually following the blueprints, for some reason, feels smoother. Weird as that sounds, it feels right. Oh, right, really? Oh, water line. Okay. You know, one other thing I will say about the army is from a one of the things, arguments I've heard against it is, it's full of racists, it's full of misogynists, it's full of this, it's full of that. I gotta tell you, I think, I mean, you're not wrong. Every large body of people has its share of jackasses. Okay? But, if I'm being honest, the army leans more toward educating the ignorant. Like, you will learn, like, my experience with Muslims, for example, began because the shortest guy in the platoon in basic training was a Muslim, and I was the tallest guy. And as a joke, well, as a joke, the drill sergeant made sure that anytime we had to dig a fighting position, he and I had to do it together. So basically, I had to accommodate for the short person, and he had to deal with the fact that he had to dig the hole deeper because I was the tall person. And anyway, but also alphabetically, we were one right after another, so we were each other's battle buddy. So you learn so much about other cultures, other races, and I grew up in practically the whitest part of the country in New Hampshire, and I live there now, and it's less that way because just okay, how can I do this? It's just the nature of the country is becoming more and more diverse, which is good. New Hampshire is coming less and less out of its, it's just very white and very north, okay, so is that a good place to do this? Yeah, it can work as a drop-off. That's fine. Let's go ahead and set up a station. And the army, I have to say, straightened me out in a lot of ways. Like, it made my ignorance go away, because I was pretty ignorant. Like I said, it was a white New Hampshire. Very little exposure to other cultures, and okay, come on. And even Dad, he told me he's like the only guy with a hillbilly accent in all of oh, I gotta pump all the sulfuric acid down here. Damn it. Oh, that does suck. He's in all of New England, I swear, he's the only guy with a hillbilly accent. And, but he kind of told me he grew up in the rural South. He's like, he tried to educate me on, hey, look, you've never grown up around African Americans, so I'm going to give you some pointers. And they were good pointers, I know now. Just understanding their culture and everything, and how different it is from ours, but not to, as he put it, he's like, it comes off as very, like, more aggressive than you're used to, but not aggressive in a bad way, but aggressive in a I can't remember the word he used. It might look like aggression, but they're just very emotional, emphatic, or very expressive. That was the word. And it's going to seem like something it isn't. So don't be put out by it or anything like that. It's because, like I said, I'm just not exposed to it. But he straightened me out on a lot of that before I even enlisted, or after I enlisted, but before I shipped out. And he called it. But in addition, there's a lot of stuff even he didn't know, because he had very little exposure, for example, to Latin culture, you know, or Asian culture. And I've learned a lot about that. I mean, my first duty station was Korea. And I love that. I love that I got to see the world and meet all these people. But I have to say, while they're, like any organization, it has its share of shitheads, I think overall the experience, which is what you make of it, I suppose, if you go into it with the wrong mindset, you could, you know, maybe it will embolden those kinds of people, but it just wasn't that way with me. It wasn't even close to it. It's like, you learn more, the more you learn about the people, the more you trust them, and the more you trust them, how can you be bigoted? You know what I'm saying? So that was my experience, and I don't regret it at all. Loved it. You know, it's something, there is a camaraderie. Like, for example, one of the best ways to bond with somebody is to go through a really unpleasant scenario, unpleasant situation, unpleasant circumstances, experience something really unpleasant. And basic training is really designed to be unpleasant. And it is. It's just like, it's constant messing with your head, and how can things really be this stupid? And there's just a lot going on but suffering with people and bonding over it, that's what it's all about. And then you don't think about all the differences, you just think about all the stuff that you have in common. And then it continues, especially when you deploy and go places where the danger is very real, and just, you know, bonding over your predicament and how crappy it is. And it's just something that civilians will never know and can never appreciate. So I'd highly recommend, yeah, it's not an Army recruiting video, but let me tell you, you know, it paid for my college. It gave me a skill. Board Bob and I come from the same skill. We went to the same school. And even the thing he talked about where, you know, okay, what else do I need? I got that. Oh, I need to build one of those, and let's grab some more plates so I can build 2 of those. Even what he was talking about where, you know, it gives you this, having a job outside, like a side job or whatever. I had, with him, he introduced me to that same side job thanks to our skill, and that set me up for success later in the civilian world. And it just, being military, it gave me a lot of contacts that I've used afterward. And of course, if I went to 20 years, so I also get the dirt cheap medical, which has been huge for my family for so many reasons. I would almost go so far as to say the medical was more valuable than the retirement crap that we get. I mean, crazy as it sounds, the medical, what people pay for insurance, can be outrageous. And that hasn't been an issue for us because of the, you know, retirement benefits. So, you know, just so many different things. But making contacts outside of the Army, or in the Army that I've used outside once I've gotten out, and then you're part of the brotherhood. You're in the club now. You know, we like to say back when the ID cards for retired personnel were blue. You're part of Team Blue Card now. Okay. Oh, am I out of iron plates? God bless America. These freaking things. Okay, these are loading, right? Yeah, they're loading. Good. Excellent. So yeah, great. Oh, well, I could have walked out of that. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, if you're willing to go through the unpleasant stuff, there's a lot of pleasant stuff. And I'm very okay. It was worth it. All of the unpleasant things that were in the army, even the thought of deploying. And I will tell you, yes, there are a lot of people at home that argued about, oh, well, the war, this, and, you know, that's fine. But you're going to find that it's like the politics and all that crap just did not matter. As weird as it sounds, it just didn't matter. Not that it isn't important. It's just that you don't really think about who your commander-in-chief is. You're worried about the guy next to you and or gal. It's just you just don't lose yourself in that stupid stuff. But that's just my opinion. Other people may see it differently. I thought less about the politics and the larger scope of things and more about just the basic, grow where you're planted, so to speak. Okay, I'm gonna have to get some more stuff. You know what? Actually, it's been an hour. Okay, I'm gonna keep going off camera. You can see what we're doing. This is our first train, first attempt at railroad, and next time we'll have sulfuric acid. We already have sulfuric acid. We'll have uranium ore, and we'll have a nuclear power plant set up, I think, by then. Okay, but anyway, y'all have a wonderful day. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. Leave any feedback in the comments. I appreciate that. Lets me know that you're watching and paying attention. And I'm learning as well as teaching. So certainly, if there are people out there who've played, what did it come up here for? Oh, steel plate or iron plate. If there's people who've, gotten farther along in the game and have things to share, by all means, let me know. I'm more than willing to learn from somebody who's been there, done that. So, all right. Well, I will see you in the next one. Ciao.